Hey guys, what is going on? It is xckj here today, bringing to you guys a new video on basically how to play Bazaar, where the good spots to stand are, just basically what you have to do and how to do it, how to win on Bazaar, what is the idea behind it. So we're going to kind of go in depth here about what side is the best side to push on and all this kind of stuff, and how tanks should be standing, how healers should be standing, all that kind of good stuff. So I'm pretty excited about this actually. Let me change the color of my pen here. We'll do red. I know the last time I did this, people were complaining about the colors that I did. So basically here, we have our main push, which is just going to be either left or right. Personally, I really like to start on the left side. The reason being is because when you push down on the left side, you have like a more open area over here, where if you push on the right side and you push them back, they have this entire like this whole deal right here that they can be protecting on, whereas and like they can flank around. It's very thin here, like there's a lot of cover for them. So basically, if you push them all the way this way and they somehow get around or they get underneath, well, if they get underneath, it's not that great, but really when you push them back, it always feels like they kind of can get away a little bit easier. So I really enjoy like pushing on the left. So when I start out, I go high ground always on the left, because I want to be able to, like, let's say that nobody ends up contesting me. So I'm like standing here and I'm just staying right here, because now I could like block myself here, or I could like walk back around this corner again, like I have a lot of options, or I could just walk down the steps and go into the middle. Although this spot for damages kind of just gets you killed and you don't really do anything here. So I try to stay like on top of this top area. But let's say, for instance, nobody contests me, right? So I'm not being contested at all. Oh shoot, sorry about that. All right, so let's say I'm standing here now. I'm not being contested at all. I'm kind of able to like look down on the point, look all the way across, shoot, or what I typically end up doing, I stay on my mount and then I will come all the way around here, shoot on down. This is if I'm playing damage, by the way. Play on this little like thing right here, and now hopefully sometimes the healer's just standing right here, or somebody's standing right here. If I could get this flank, or like let's say that the healer's playing here, I just push all the way around. Now we know a couple things. Their damage is going to be on this side, and their flank's going to be on this side, or their damage went up the middle. Like, we know that this side's open, so we know that the only side of the map that like matters is right over here. And maybe somebody came late out of the gate, but the time you make it all the way here, if somebody's late out of the gate, like that's just unlucky for you, I guess. But basically, like, so we're standing here now, like we can flank all the way around. You get picks on this and everything. Like, this is a great way to start the first point. You apply a lot of pressure. You kind of get them out of like, you turn on their brains a little bit. You have to be very confident in yourself to make a play like this, but I really like it a lot. Going underneath just doesn't seem as good because you don't have as many options. Like, you cut off the amount of plays. Sure, yeah, you're able to just do this whole thing where you just run around, and maybe they even went above and now they're flanked around on you, but you went underneath. It's like you have very single option. When you go up top, you have the option to literally just play this spot. This spot is not bad at all. Like, let's say you're playing Victor or Leon, right? You're going to be able to outsnipe like a Cassie or something if she's standing like over here, or if you just want to deal some damage to the tanks, you're going to force their tank to have to like come up here. And if their tank's coming up here, that's like, this is probably one of the best spots for the tanks to stand, but only if like they're not forced to have to be there. Basically, I think it is the best spot. Like, let's say our tank, for instance, I think probably the best spot for our tank to stand is like here and here, depending on where the two damages are. Of course, the first thing that they want to do is they want to take the high ground and then go to the point after that. You don't want to just run straight to the point, because for positioning of healers, let's say I'm playing the damage and I'm playing right here. I'm wanting the healer to be like right on top of me. Reason for that being, I can both protect the healer, allow the flank to be freed up to do whatever the heck the flank wants to do, whether the flank wants to try to go underneath and hit a flank route that way, if they just want to apply some pressure with the off tank, maybe push down on the other opposite side of me. But I really prefer for like four people to like go here, so we got like we have off tank, healer, damage, and flank, all to just push down this side, just in case they also come to like fight us here. We have the entire team basically. If the point tank wants to come with us too, that's even better. Like, honestly, super great. But Yeah, and then once like the point gets capped from here, because like yeah, just being up here is so strong, man. Like, you can even push up to the halfway point, and then you can push all the way. The only thing you have to be careful about, man, is, like, when you're standing right here, you're legitimately out in the open. The only way to, like, get safe is to come back in this little cubby, which is a worst spot to be. So, after you push up past this halfway mark, you got to be really, really careful, because a damage right here will instant kill you, like, so quickly, man. Especially if they're healers with them and stuff like that. So, just be mindful of that for the point fight. So basically, right now, this is where we have. Let's say you didn't decide to push. We've got 1 and 2. Your off tank has pushed up to about here, and your flank, let's say your flank's with them, and you have your tank chilling right here because the other team is all on this side. So you have their team boop, boop, and boop, boop, with their tank. Let's say they're both doing the exact same thing, like the optimal strategy. This is where this map gets interesting, which is a constant rotation. This map is a square. So, in order, now your damage and healer is right back here, right? And here's their tank and their flank. So they're looking at you, and they're like, yo, that is a juicy damage and healer right there. So these guys are going to come at you. So what do you have to do? You have to make a decision on whether you're going to come up here, which even though you're vulnerable now, so you have to be careful. And then your people are going to come here. They are going to move here. Constant rotation, while your tanks are also doing the exact same square rotation to stay out of line of sight of these damages. So, so these guys are going to, this tank right here is wanting to stay out of line of sight of these guys right here. So I think that makes sense. Basically, you just want to be in a constant rotation, and a lot of maps are like this, just a constant rotation. Once you get the hang of this constant rotation, you really are going to start to get the hang of the map. So that's like basically your point fight. I hope that makes a lot of sense. Hopefully you learned something from that. Now let's move on. We are going to talk about, once you cap the point, what you are going to be trying to do. And that's just like one of the main strategies. Like, there's other strategies that you could try to go for, of course, but that's like the tried and true way. Like, if you're damaged and you're standing here, like, what quality are you going to give to your team as a damage standing here? If you're damaged standing right here, like underneath, what are you able to shoot? Okay, you're able to see up to here, and then this thing's in your way. You're able to kind of shoot up to here and kind of shoot up to here, but it's not ideal. Like, when you're up here, you can see everything. You could shoot everywhere on the point, except for, like, the only spots that maybe you can shoot is right in this spot right here. So, it is something to, like, keep in mind. But let's say you now have capped the point, right? So, you're going to have your healer is now going to start to push. Your healer can push easily up to about right here, which is where I like to have my point tank or my off tank start to push. Preferably off tank when I really think about it. The reason for this being, this map is designed super weird, of where, like, the off tank can just come straight through here, or the flank can just come straight through here and get easy picks. Also, the point tank can literally just walk straight through here and hold the point. And while all this is going on, you still have the ability for the damages to just be, like, chilling in this little area right here and just keeping a ton of damage down. So what I like to do is, so let's say, for instance, they're standing in, we have their damage is chilling here, so we're going to put D here. Their point tank, so we up to this point, we've had just the healer push up to here. So this is all enemy team, by the way. So we have enemy team point tank standing here. Put P. We have the off tank is trying to wrap around through here, or possibly they're coming up here. Let's say that the off tank has pushed this way, and also we have the flank also with the off tank, as should be. So we've got these guys standing all right here, okay? Basically, if you're trying to have your healer still pushing this at this point, and it's very easy for them to get to these positions, even if you position well. So let's say, for instance, now, because what happens typically is you have your healer, your healer stand on the point, right? And then the rest of your team pushes up. The rest of your team is, like, pushing up to, like, right here, okay? Now, literally, how easy is it for them just to be like, oh, yep, I'm just going to run all the way straight through there, boom, whack him. That's, like, So easy for them to do that. So, wait, what the heck? Why can't I click that? Oh, there we go. Okay. So, what we want to do is we want to have better positioning than that. So, we're going to have our damage, instead of these guys being able to get here, we're going to prevent this. We're going to have our flank come here, our damage come here, our point tank is going to move up right here, and like just in this area, like maybe in this entire area, because it's easy to jump up here. The reason for that being, look at where the healer can heal right now. Boom, boom, boom. Now we're also going to have the off tank applying minor pressure, like not overcommitting at all. We're going to have them start to apply pressure right here. So we'll just put off tank for this. Now this prevents all of these positionings right here if all of these people move into these spots. Now we have the damage supporting the off tank. We have the flank stopping this, and then the flank is mobile, right? So the flank can easily come back to get with the healer, and then if everybody needs to, if they like push through this side right here, while the point is pushing up, literally all the team has to do is like the damage just looks this way, the point's pushing up, right? So like you have plenty of time for you to have at least gotten the cart to like here. Once the cart gets to here, you have the point tank over there. The healer is going to move over with the damage, and then you're going to continue pushing this way. The flank can leave, come around, and now you start the push through this little section right here, which completely changes everything. This is just such a weird map to push on. I kind of have a hard time pushing on this map, I feel like. I think a lot of teams do. Just because once you start pushing, it could just become like so easy for teams to push you from so many different angles, like I said before. So once we get the cart to like right about around this, everything is changing now. This entire side of the map is basically useless. Like this entire side of the map is just flank routes at this point, which can be easily prevented by an off tank just positioning themselves well and not like overextending too far. Your entire team can't overextend, but you're going to want to have your main push happening from here. And the reason why your main push is happening from here is now you're preventing this spot from getting pushed through and this spot from getting pushed through. And the reason for that being is like once they cross over, your entire team knows that they crossed over. And you can either like, okay, let's say that their damage has decided, oh, I'm going to come right over here, right? They don't have a damage that's able to shoot at the point anymore, so your team is going to be able to push up even further and wrap around while the cart is pushing, and then you just have your off tank like fall back, apply some pressure on the damage, and your entire team is pushing. Like you get picks for free. It's so good. I think that makes a decent amount of sense. That's kind of like my idea behind how like in an ideal world it will go. So if you are playing with somebody else and you're able to get like some minor stuff happening where you're even like starting to do some of these things, you're gonna have way more success. Or if you're even just calling out for your team, like, hey, can you guys like come over here and do this and whatnot. And also, as I said before, I think kind of how I explained the positioning before is how to defend the point. So we kind of covered two at once. Anyway, let me know what you guys did think about this type of video. If you enjoyed it, if you were like, nah, not my type of video. Anyway, just, yeah, let me know what you guys think. Make sure to leave a like and sub. We are doing daily uploads right now. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you guys on the stream on Monday, 7 p.m. Eastern time. Hopefully I will see you guys all there. Until then, peace.